Alright, here we go. Season 3 of the PBL. I am Nick, head coach of the Mount Silver Scythers, newly rebranded and beautiful. And I am starting the battle. I am facing off this week against Zach of the Secret Garden Hoopas. He's shown a pretty formidable opponent in off-season stuff and previous seasons, so I was a little bit worried going into this. I lead with my shiny Azelf, Buddy, because I can't think of a better name than Buddy for Azelf. And he leads with his Lopunny 3Cs, apparently for its cup size, or something to that effect. Sexism in the league, hashtag Gamergate or whatever. So I bring in Echo, because I know this thing's going to throw out a fake out, and I want someone to take it who doesn't worry too much about taking a few hits here or there. And he does indeed go Mega, unsurprisingly, and hits me with the fake out. Hurts a little bit, but honestly not that much. I'm not too afraid of this thing with Echo because Echo can beat it up all day long. He withdraws his 3Cs and brings in Ferrous Oxide. Now this thing was really kind of the thorn in my side, haha, because it was really tough to try and take it down. I had a couple ways to deal with it, but all of them were a little bit rough. There was no easy task taking him down. But this is one way that I could stop him pretty completely, is just hit him with those taunts, so then he can't really set up what he likes to do. So like he's a Leech Seed, Hazard Setter, but if he's taunted, can't do anything about it. So I had two taunters this week, mainly to deal with him or to deal with setup sweepers, because the other one is my Alolan Persian, so a fast taunter as opposed to a normal speed taunter. And my leftovers do get knocked off here, which does kind of suck, but it was good for me that he put knockoff on there instead of Power Whip, because he can't, like after he knocked off my item, all he had is, you can see this turn, is Gyro Ball. So all he could use against me was knockoff and Gyro Ball, which those Gyro Balls hurt, but it's nowhere near what a Power Whip would do. A Power Whip would have done like 50% damage, so I had to take that chance there to see where he's at. And now that my terrain goes away, I taunt him again, since his taunt went up and I didn't want to give him a shot. And he did go for the attack, which is not good for me, because now I think I think it's still 2 hits for him to KO me. Maybe 1, I'm not sure. So I hit him with the Scald. I'm like, ooh, please. Terrain's away, give me a burn. And I do get the burn, so I got really lucky, because then this means he can only do like 30 damage or something to me. Yeah, not even. It's like 25 damage. So that officially means I can survive against him for at least a few more hits. So now I'm like, okay, I need to get Echo out of here. I don't need her losing any more health. I need to send in somebody who can do some more damage to this dude, or do something to him. And he does hit me with a knockoff, but that doesn't do anything because I have Fur Coat and I resist it, and he's burned. So that did, what, 3 damage? 5 damage? Something like that. And he's no longer taunted. But now he's taunted again. I was enjoying taunting him. I taunted him 3 times and he just couldn't use his setup moves, which was really what I needed to do with him, is stop him from being able to set stuff up. And the burn helped me get rid of his healing that he was getting. And then he withdraws. And this is actually huge right here, because I hit him with the knockoff, which he had a Choice Scarf, which now means something that I calced like right before the start of, or like a few hours before the match, I calced something which will come back later. So I'm doing my Z parting shot here, because the thing that can stop this Flygon pretty much dead in his tracks is my Echo. And Echo's low on health, doesn't have leftovers anymore, so I'm like, okay, I gotta give this heal to my Tapu Fini, give that pretty girl some health back so we can heal her all the way back up, which now means she is in fighting shape again and ready to kick some ass. So he goes for the U-turn, which doesn't really do much to me, but like I said, at this point he is neutered because he has no item. And then he sends out Jazz Hands, the Rotom Heat, which obviously this is not friendly with my Tapu Fini. So I go for Donphan this turn, because I'm like, okay, he's probably going to Volt Switch or Thunderbolt. And he does go for the Volt Switch, and I do eat it up. So this turn shows one of the shortly before the match changes that I made, which was instead of having Earthquake on him, I gave him Rock Tomb, because I'm like, if I can hit some of the faster Pokemon with a Rock Tomb, I can level this playing field, so I can make it so nothing will outspeed my Beedrill, which was really the issue, is I needed to make sure things weren't faster than him, because, I mean, the Tapu Lele on his team does have a Choice Scarf, because that is the only way that he can guaranteed outspeed and kill my Beedrill. And he does get a Leech Seed off finally, but I didn't really care, because I got my Stealth Rocks up. Like, it was really late setup, but I was like, I need to wait until I have a good opportunity to set him up, and I don't need to focus on it early. I need to focus on stopping that Ferrothorn, and I stopped him really well. So he did get a little more health back there, but I'm leaving because I don't want to give him any more health, because I want that boy to die. So I sent him Buddy, because Buddy the Azelf, what's your favorite color, does have Fire Punch. So he was kind of my way to deal with Ferrothorn if I had to. So this turn, I do get hit with the Fake Out, which Fake Out does so much damage. Like, I have no defense investment, but Jesus, that's scary how much damage that does. And he did call my move here and brings in Fat Joe with that Dark typing and hits me with an Intimidate, which is a bit unfortunate. But he does have immunity to my Zen Headbutt. So I did show that, and since I am Scarfed, I need to switch out manually, and I bring in Echo because Echo, again, shits all over this Pokemon. Like, there's 3 things on his team, and I already don't have an item, so that knockoff doesn't do much. Sure, that has Stab this time, but I'm not afraid of it. So Fat Joe leaves because he really doesn't want to stay out against me. And of course, Ferric Oxide comes back out. I'm pretty sure... No, I just went for the Stab, hopefully killing move if he decided to stay in. Still does decent damage, and especially since his recovery is stunted right now because of that burn. I'm like, okay, I know I can take some hits from this dude. And we still got everybody alive in this battle. Nobody's dead yet. I taunt him again, because I'm like, I'm not giving you any chances to set anything up. And he goes for the attacks, but since he's burned, these do way less damage, which means I can take dozens of these hits and still be fine. So I'm not worried about him in the least bit. So I just go for the attacks and like hit him with the Shadow Ball, neutral damage, see if I can get a special defense drop, see if I can get this dude off the field. Because Ferrothorn is a pain, because he stops my Tapu Fini every time, and if I can get rid of Ferrothorn, I don't think anything else on his team resists my Moonblasts. And I probably should have gone for Shadow Ball right here, just to actually kill him. I would have taken less damage, but I didn't do that. I made a slight mistake there, but it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure he stays in and dies next turn. But we are coming up on... His taunt does wear off, though. But I don't think I cared at this point. I'm pretty sure... No, I did switch. What was I thinking there? Oh, I was expecting another Gyro Ball. Which this does actually decent damage because I'm so fast. Like, Tapu Fini had no speed investment, so that's why it was so, like, weak there. But Duke Silver is quite fast. Hey, and I finally get rid of his leftovers. But he does die, so he is now dead, which means that is the first KO all the way in turn 24, so halfway through the battle is the first KO. And now he brings out 3Cs, which isn't great for me. This is a very bad matchup for me. But Duke can just leave. I can bring in Donphan because he's full defense build. Actually, no, he's HP and attack. But still, he's very bulky. I mean, he didn't take that really well, which is kind of unfortunate, but he still did survive. And I don't know what I went for that turn, Because I thought, I mean, I think I went for Rock Tomb, hoping that he would switch, but didn't happen, so now it's 1-1, each of us, and now Buddy the Ace Elf comes back out. And now, since I am expecting him to switch and bring in Fat Joe, instead of going for the Zen Headbutt, which is what happened the last time, I'm going to go for the U-turn, because this is what I predicted was going to happen. And now, this finally gives me a chance to bring in Lance... Oh no, it's Duke Silver again. Man, it's forever until I bring in my B-Drill. Alright, I just wanted to get some chip damage on him because I was like, I don't know how much a U-turn from B-Drill will do, and I don't know how much damage he will do with a hit, or if he's going to try and set up. So let's hit him with that, drop his attack, send back, so now somebody can come in with this guy weak, so I can finally bring in Lancelot here, my shiny B-Drill. And he throws out a Drain Punch, which even on just main B-Drill at that -1 does nothing. So he's not quite low enough at this point. So I go Mega, bring in that big D B-Drill. Look at Lancelot right there. And I hit him with that fat adaptability U-turn for normal damage, which does a whole lot. And then I bring out Buddy the Ace Elf, because I didn't know what I was getting, but that Dragon Tail missing kind of sucks for him, but I was okay with it. And then I could finish off Fat Joe there, so I mean, I think it's 90 accuracy on Dragon Tail, but still, I don't think that really would have mattered much, because anything that came in probably could have just dunked on him. So Duke Silver comes back out. I'm like, I just want to fake out something. So he does go, I think, for the Killing Blow here, and I go for the Fake Out. So I see that he's staying in, and he didn't go for a move, so I'm like, well, let's see if I can survive one of these. And yes, I can. So I can hit this with a Parting Shot, which is great for me, because that of -1 means it really wants to get out of there, because it really wants as much attacking power as possible. So now I bring in Buddy again, and I'm like, okay, now I can just Zen Headbutt, because you no longer have a Dark type or a Steel type. So I can just throw down a Zen Headbutt, and it goes into Mr. Jazz Hands, who does take fat Stealth Rocks damage. And he did have... Oh no, he had an Air Balloon. I saw that earlier, so I was like, I know that's coming in. Or I assume that might come in, since that's the bulkiest thing he has left. So U-turn to bring in Pop-Tart the Excadrill, finally making its her appearance in the battle. Because now I can do my super secret awesome strategy. He withdraws his Jazz Hands, brings in Goggles. Now this is exactly what I had planned for. This is why I gave Rock Tomb to Pop-Tart, because Goggles at Jolly 252 speed investment at -1 is slower than my 0 speed investment Excadrill, which means I can hit it with an Earthquake getting past its Levitate, which did just over 50% damage and picks up the KO. Oh, that was a critical hit. I don't know if that crit mattered. I don't think it did, because the calc that I ran was just over 50% damage, but whatever, it happened. I made a bit of a blunder here. I should have just brought in Feeny so that she didn't get back to full health right there, so that was a bit unfortunate, but I was expecting something like a return, and I didn't want Feeny to take that much damage, or Buddy to take that much damage. So I bring Buddy back in. I think this time I do go for the Zen Headbutt, maybe, or I go for U-turn again. I don't remember. No, this one's a Zen Headbutt, because this is where I get another critical hit, which this one I believe did really matter. So I got pretty lucky with 2 critical hits. Like I said, I think that one actually really mattered. And then Yuno finally makes an appearance, which this I knew had to be Scarfed, because if it's not Scarfed, then nothing outspeeds my B-Drill anymore. And my B-Drill can easily OKO that. So I bring in Duke Silver, expecting anything, and it's a Moonblast, which I was like, okay, that kind of sucks, because if it was a Psychic, I was like, well, I'm screwed. Or if it was a Psychic, Duke Silver would block it. And now I can bring Lancelot because I'm like, okay, I know you have to be Choice Scarfed, and now you're locked into Moonblast, which doesn't do that much to me, so I can just throw out fat damage. And it is important, his terrain is up. Since Psychic terrain is up, that means that priority moves do not work. And I almost OKO that thing, and he goes for the Fake Out in his own terrain, which it wouldn't have mattered, I was faster than Lopunny anyway. So I can hit it with the U-turn, get out of there, because I know, okay, the thing that's going to be coming in next has to be his only Pokemon left, his Tapu Lele. And I'm like, okay, let's send in something that will be faster, first of all. So that's what the main point of this was, is I knew I would be faster than Tapu Lele, so I could hit it with the U-turn, get a bit more chip damage on it, which that does good damage since I did have an, I think this, yeah, it was a Jolly, so totally attacking build on that. And then I bring an Echo, I'm like, maybe Echo can survive one of these hits? I change the terrain so it doesn't get the psychic damage boost, and 130 base special defense, and it is enough for me to survive, but it's faster than me, so I die the next turn. Whatever. Echo did great that fight, but it needed to die at the end so that I could get Buddy in for free, so that I could then hit it with another U-turn for this final turn to take it out, because I was still faster since I still had that Choice Scarf, which originally the Choice Scarf was going to get tricked onto Ferrothorn to stop him from being able to do any of his setup stuff, so luckily I didn't end up having to do that, and that gave me the speed at the end to outspeed his Scarf Tapu Lele and get the victory. So week 1, pulling out a 6-4 victory. Felt pretty good about it. We'll see how next week goes. I faced Ian of the Lake of Rage Ungodly Quillfishes. Sorry, we have a plural there. So we'll see how that plays out. We're back at it, boys. Deuces.